What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw Media. So look, in this particular video, I want to make a further point about something that me and others have debunked years ago, many times. One of the stupid talking points that Jordan haters love to make or use, and that is that the only reason why the Bulls beat the Pistons in '91 in the conference finals is because the Pistons, quote, got old, right? Now, mind you, you never hear that about the Pistons and their titles. You never hear people critique the Pistons titles. You never hear them say, well, man, Kareem was only a shell of himself. By 89, 42 years old, he could barely get up and down the court. Man, the first year they won a title, Bird wasn't even in the NBA. He was recovering from bone spur surgery, if I'm not mistaken. Only played 6 games that year. Wasn't available in the 89 playoffs. Man, the Boston Celtics were getting older in general. Danny Ainge was gone to Sacramento by then. You don't hear that. Kevin McHale wasn't the same player since the foot injury in '87, but you don't hear them critiquing and poo-pooing the Pistons, despite the fact that in the first round they played the Boston Celtics, who were only in the first round, that low, because Larry Bird wasn't available, as I just stated. Then they played a decimated Bucks team that had like 4 or 5 guys out due to injury. Then the only team to get any wins against them was the so-called lowly Chicago Bulls, the Eastern Conference Finals, in '89, which was a team only 2 years removed from being out in the first round. And then in the finals, of course, they swept the Lakers, but that was a Lakers team that was without Magic Johnson for almost the entire series and without Byron Scott, and they had a 42-year-old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and some guy named Jeff Lamp playing point guard, Not the most impressive championship run I've ever seen, but you don't hear that. But anyway, the other thing that you hear, as I said before, is that the Pistons got old. They got old. Well, let's look at something here. Let's look at each one of these guys in 1991-92, the very next year. Well, according to my estimations, the very next year, Isaiah Thomas was an all-star. He played in 78 games, averaged 18.5 points, 3.2 rebounds, 7.2 assists, 1.5 steals, on 44.6% shooting from the floor, 29.1% from 3. Now, keep in mind, that's pretty close to his career averages of 45% shooting and 29% three-point shooting. And he shot 77.2% from the line, and for his career, he was a 76% free throw shooter. So he had a pretty basic. When I say basic, I mean that's a typical all-star year for him. At age 30, but they got old, ladies and gentlemen. That's the talking point they use. That these guys got old all of a sudden. Let's look at Joe Dumars. 91-92. Joe Dumars was 28 years old, an all-star, 19.9 points, 2.3 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 44.8% shooting from the floor, 40.8% from three-point range, and 86.7% from the charity stripe. Last but certainly not least, the Worm, Dennis Rodman, who that year I believe was 30 years old. The last time he was an all-star, by the way. Averaged 9.8 points, but a career-high 18.7 rebounds, the first of his 7 consecutive rebounding titles, 2.3 assists, 53.9% shooting from the floor, and shot 31.7% from three, which is kind of high for him. 6% from the foul line. So he averaged almost a double. What the hell would you call it? A double nickel? No, not a double nickel. A double 20 twin? I don't know what you would call that. He averaged 10 and 20 damn near. Close to it. At age 30. That don't sound like a team that's washed up to me. It just sounded like a team that was still very good, but the Bulls had pushed themselves into a position where they were just clearly a better team. I mean, they had been improving by leaps and bounds anyway. In '88, which was just Jordan's fourth year in the NBA, they played them in the semifinals and went 6 games. No, take that back. Not in '88. Was it '88? Yeah, I think '88 they did play them in the. Let me see, make sure of that. Sometimes I get a little bit mixed up with what the first year was they played against each other. I think it was '88. Yeah, in the semis, they played against each other, and I think the Pistons won 4-1, with the Bulls only winning game 2 of that series. The next year, they played against each other in the conference finals, and the Pistons won 4-2, and in '90 it was 4-3. That's what it was. Yeah. But anyway, the Bulls progressively got better each year. Each year, the Bulls got better. They went from losing to the Pistons in the semifinals to making it to the conference finals, pushed them to 6 games, and then '90 pushed them to 7 games. If Pippen had showed up in that game, maybe they upset them in Auburn Hills. We don't know. But by '91, it was over. When Mike figured it out, when Pippen and the other guys progressed as players, toughened up, got to the mental place they needed to be, as well as physical to win on that level, that was it. But anyway, just want to put this out here again. All 3 of these guys, all Detroit Pistons, 3 of them, on the Eastern Conference All-Star team. But guys like Nick Wrong will tell you the Pistons got old. The Pistons got old.